What are you feeling, Brandon?
He's sweating. All right, well, there's 1-0. Come on, Birmingham. There's another 0. There's another 0. Here goes.
Pretty frustrating start in the 3K6 max. Had a good table. Cut off opens, middle-aged American guy playing ABC, but a bit random spewy so far. Button calls, so 1100 call. I squeezed to 5.1k with 10s, for like 35k effective. Now he makes it 17k, playing 35k, so he's told me he's definitely not folding. I think at that point with 10s, I have to just decide, do I want to gamble because I'm hoping he's got like ace-king, or do I want to preserve my edge and just say next hand, move on, whatever. And I don't really expect him to bluff. Like, I don't expect it to be aces or kings either, but it's probably heavily like ace-king and maybe jack, so I just thought whatever, fold. And he showed me a pair of 9s. The guy I'm playing against, a few hands later, I 3-bet jack, c-bet, end up losing against his ace-queen, and then he opens under the gun to 1500. I 3-bet with ace-king offsuit in the cut-off to 5100. He calls, so the pot's like 11.5k. It comes jack 9-9 rainbow, block king 9 suited, but not ace 9 suited. Check, I just had to check back. I just thought he might get away from some ace highs on the flop and just dominate loads of stuff. He might just check raise me with some hands and make me fold. I don't really want to bet fold this hand, so I just thought check back is pretty clean. He doesn't know my strategy either, so I don't think he can exploit it. I can check back aces, I can check back jacks, the SPR such that I can check back a 9 sometimes. Turns to 5 of spades, and now starts a spade flush draw with jack 9 of like heart club and then 9-5 of spades. I have the ace of spades in my hand. Now he bets 15k over pot when I'm playing about 27k. This bet is just like, I don't have a good hand because none of his really good hands want to do this. It's just like, to me, this is just a please fold bet. So I started staring at him, and given I played another 2 hands with him, he gave me 2 or 3 opposing physical tells compared to when he had a good hand. So it's like, this guy's clearly bluffing. But is he bluffing with a straight draw? Is he bluffing with a flush draw? Is he bluffing with complete air? I don't know. But once I know that he's bluffing, I know that my ace king is good. I don't think he's turning a small pair into a bluff here. So I decided to call with my ace king. Maybe just jam now is better because I don't think he can fold if he's got a draw. But I thought if he's got air, I want him to bet the river, so I tanked, and I made it look like I had a hard decision. I was like really thinking about counting the chips and then call. So I'm just trying to induce the river jam. And the river's the king of spades, which is really annoying because queen 10 gets there and spades get there, which are like pretty intuitive bluffs in this spot. He goes all in on the river for my like 12k, and at this point I don't think I can fold because maybe he has king queen or king 10. If he has like 10-8, he's still gonna bluff. My read on the turn was that he's bluffing, and now he gets there if he has spades or if he has the queen 10. The pot price is just too good. I need to win like 1 in 5 times, and who knows what this guy's doing with that turn bet. I'm just like, I know I've got the best hand, so I call the river. Like, so it's print call on the turn, I think, with the read, and then a side call on the river, and he has 6-7 of spades for the river flush. Busted the 3K6 max level 4, pretty disappointing, but coming back in now, still got loads of chips, and hopefully it goes better.
A few moments later.
Just busted the 3K6 max again, feeling pretty disappointed.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
This is one of the tournaments I was looking forward to the most. It is just a 2-day tournament with a 30-minute clock on day 1. I know I can't get too far ahead of myself, it's a turbo, but to bust twice before level 8 does feel pretty disappointing. But I can take the rest of the night off now. Probably go play the Wynn tomorrow. I actually made probably my best call of the trip so far, where I opened ace 9 of hearts. It's a new table, so I don't really have any info. I just saw one hand before the break where a guy calls the small blind with 8-9 off, bluffed the river in a spot where bluff didn't seem too out of line once he gets there with a hand like that. I raise with ace 9 of hearts to 1400, 600 big blind. He makes it 3.7k in the big blind, so super weird tiny 3-bet size. Obviously easy call ace 9 hearts. It was jack 9, 5, rainbow, 1 heart. He bets 2.6k, I call, pretty easy. Turns of 4, still rainbow. He bets again, 5.6k. Kind of dicey spot with ace 9, but I don't interact with the king queen. Don't interact with the king 10 or the queen 10. And this guy clearly doesn't mind putting chips in the pot. If he played the 8-9 hands, I was like, I'm going to call the turn as well. Fold most rivers, because if he's tripling, then whatever. Call the turn. River's a king, obviously terrible card. King 10 gets there, queen 10 gets there, king queen gets there, ace king gets there. It was barreling with that. It's just pretty hard to find bluffs, and the small size pre is normally pretty linear, like in suited Broadway or something. Like most of the hands that are linear pre aren't a bluff anymore. Now he bets the river for like 13.7k into nearly 25k. Obviously, I'm just gonna fold usually. I wasn't sure, but then this guy looked super uncomfortable, and I thought I'll just try to watch his breathing, and it seemed like he was subtly breathing really quickly and intensely, like his shirt was moving. I feel like it was subtle. It was the way he was playing with the chips and some other stuff. I tried to speak to him. The whole aura of him gave me the impression that he was uncomfortable, and I thought it's annoying him on my re-entry, and it's a big part if I call and lose. I'll have lost in one half my stack already, but I thought, fuck it, I'm sticking with the read. I think he's bluffing. I don't know how he's bluffing on this board, but I think he's bluffing somehow. Call, beat the 5-6 offsuit. That was a really nice call. That made me feel great, especially after just re-entering and spinning it up a bit. But then ace queen versus sixes, lose the flip. Had a few pretty awkward hands that didn't go my way, and then a really sick hand where jack 8, small blind limps, I check. We check on 10-9x. Turn is a 6, starts a flush draw, he bets, I call. And then the river's a 9, pairing the board. He checks, so I'm like, my jack eye's probably not good here. I can have a 9, I can have a 10, I can have like a good 6 and value bet. So I bet 5,200 into like 7k. Thanks for ages and calls. With jack 2 of clubs, for a worse jack high. The hero called me on the river with jack high, and my jack eye bluff was good. I'm never bluffing here again. I'm never ever bluffing again. This is just ridiculous. That's the end of my day. 6 max stream is over. Just finished day 2 of week 3. I played the $1,100 200k guarantee at the Venetian, and it was going reasonably well, and then got it all in on the turn with a set against a pair and a gut shot where he's only got 4 outs, and he pings in the 4 outer for a pretty big pot, and then lost 2 flips and I was out. Honestly, even though it's a pretty brutal beat, like, it doesn't feel nice, it made me reflect on the trip so far, and compared to last time, it hasn't really happened very much. Last time I was getting like 2 outed, 4 outed, and like all sorts of nonsense all the time, every day, just getting it in good and losing on repeat. Obviously I've got it in good and lost a few times, but the ratio just feels reasonable. I don't feel like I'm running bad overall in terms of all ins, in terms of like just running it. It made me actually feel grateful that this 4 outer has been rare so far, and hopefully that's the way it stays. Back tomorrow for the 2.2k mystery bounty. Got a short stack, but you know, get a short stack on the table, ping a bounty, could cash for 250k. Sweat is real. Yesterday I had the mystery bounty, got really lucky first hand, ace 5 suited against pocket 8s and ace 10 offsuit.
Come on up.
Diamonds, just some diamonds. Oh, wow. Wow, that's sick. So I won a bounty, which was the dream. Got unlucky to bust jacks against 10s, but obviously rather be lucky first to quit the bounty, and I got the most incredible sweat for a bounty. There is so many huge bounties still in play. There's like 10 to 15% chance of getting at least 25k at this point. I'm filming the choice.
Absolutely. What are you feeling, Brandon? Birmingham. All right, here we go. What is it, Brandon? What is it?
Is this the right way? Is it not upside down, is it?
No, that's right, that's right. He's sweating. All right, well, there's 1 0. Come on, Birmingham. There's another 0. There's another 0. There's a comma. There's a 1. It's $1,000.
Yeah, that sweat was unreal. Like opening the bounty that way, where you go 0, 0, 0, comma, and then is there another 0? Is there any more commas? And it's such a great feeling of opening mystery bounty. Even though I got one of the lower ones, it was just like great experience. I love these tournaments. I can't wait for the $1 million bounty sweat at the World Series. So after that, I went and played the Millionaire Maker. I got in with like 60 bigs, and then one of the first hands. This is such a sick hand. Under the gun opens to 800 or 244. I defend the big blind with Queen Jack suited. Good free bet, but don't really know much about the table. He's opened under the gun. Ball is obviously fine. I normally try and take it a bit easier before I know much about the table. This makes the pot 2200. It comes 10 of diamonds when I've got Queen Jack of diamonds, 7 of clubs, 6 of spades. Backdoor draws, that's it. I check, he bets 600 on the small size. I decided to choose this one as a check raise. I thought he chooses a small size, he's probably betting with range. I have 8-9 offsuit, he doesn't. He's just gonna bet fold king queen, king jack, ace jack, ace queen without backdoors, maybe even ace kings. Check raise on the bigger side to 2600. He calls, so now the pot's 7400. Turn is the king of diamonds, so turn the open-ended straight flush draw. The SPR is awkward, it's like free. I've got 22.6k and the pot's 7.4. If I bet and he goes all in, it's really lame, and I probably have to call off, so I need to bet like 90% pot, and then call off is really like just about making money. I thought, I'm gonna check, I'm gonna realize all my equity for free if he checks back, which is great, or if he bets, I've got the option to check jam or check call, and obviously both of those options are fine. I go for the check, he bets 4.4k, and now at this point I thought he's still gonna bet a lot of 10x. He's gonna bet jacks and queens, he might start bluffing with ace queen and ace jack. This feels just like one of the best bluffs. Maybe jack 9 of diamonds is better, or like jack 8 of diamonds or something. It feels like such a nice one, and if I have 8-9, it's a really nice spot to check jam. If I've got like a set, it's a nice spot to check jam. I decided to go for the check jam 22.6k, thinking that if he's got aces, or if he's turned a king with like king, queen, backdoor flush draw, he's in a really tough spot, because his one pair hands are just dead against my value, and it's kind of hard to find bluffs when I play check raise, check jam. I have to have check raised with a backdoor and then turned the flush draw as well, really, because nothing else is strong enough to have check jam, I don't think. Maybe jack 9 and queen jack bear could do it, but I don't know. I feel like it's a spot where I'm just gonna have it so often. I was like, it's actually nice to have a bluff for once, and I actually think most people fold aces, but who knows? Like, this guy seemed like he might have been a reg, but he did make a small free bet in position earlier, so maybe he's like an okay reg or a bad reg, but I thought whatever, this hand's just so good, I'm all in. And he goes, starts painstakingly counting the chips, calls after about 20 seconds. In hindsight, given the hand he called me with, this jam might have been terrible, because he called me with ace of diamonds, 10. He calls me with second pair and a blocker to my like turn nut flush draw check jam. Like ace 8 and ace 9 of diamonds are hands I might play this way. Sometimes maybe ace jack and ace queen of diamonds if I check raise the flop. Like, these are plausible bluffs. There's not many bluffs here. He blocks some of them. He doesn't block many value hands. Maybe like some king 10 and pocket 10s. Maybe 10-7 if I play it that way. He's just dead against value, and he found the call. How sick is that? Like, thankfully I got there. I would have been really annoyed to bust this way, because I thought, how has he found the call with this hand here? He didn't even look at me. It's not like he got a read, and I was pretty comfortable because I've got loads of outs, I don't care what you do. I had two pretty big pots against Brock Wilson, who's a good high stakes reg that went my way. And I ended up having a bad last level where I called an all in with ace queen, then I had to fold to a jam and guy queen. A few other hands didn't go my way, and I backed 60k, which is going to be 24 big blinds for day 2, and there's only like 21 to 22% of players left, so we're getting close to the money. Obviously the Millionaire Maker is one of the best tournaments. How day 2 goes is going to be quite important, but no expectations as always. I'm back tomorrow on day 5, 10 a.m, and then after I bust the Milli Maker, might play the turbo if I bust early enough, but other than that, I'm going to take a few days off, take it easy, have a nice mental reset, probably play the 2k in the week, not play much else in the next few days. I'm going to enjoy my day off now and be back for day 2 tomorrow at the Millionaire Maker.
Yeah, I was afraid of something. I had tens. I
just didn't have an ace. Diamond? Queen?
Classic race.
Ace 3 of hearts. I can beat that. That's a good start.
Oh shit.
9 of hearts?
Oh shit.
9 of hearts?
Can you pull it off?
What do I need? A 10 for a shot? Oh, Jimmy Jacks. Oh, I'll take that.
It wasn't an ace, I think. Oh, 10.
Good to know, good to know. Just an ace or a queen? That's not so great. Nice one.
It's 3,000.
Ace 9 of spades.
That's good to hear. There's one less ace. That's not good. Club? Oh. Nice one. So I was going to have a day off today, but $500 freeze out World Series event, I thought, you know what, that's a pretty good event. It's got 4,500 players, jump in with 25 big blinds, and then playing 10-handed first time, which isn't ideal, but the table is pretty fun, mostly recreationals, maybe even all recreationals. I get red jacks under the gun, I open up 1,500 big blind to 3,200, I've got about 20 bigs, plus 1 calls, which obviously is pretty scary 10-handed, but because these players are like more on the fishier side, like no one really squeezes light and people call too wide, so it's obviously it's not the end of the world. The button calls, the big blind calls. So the pot is 15,300. It comes 995, 2 spades and a club. I've got red jacks. And at this point, my stack is like 25k and pot's 15.3. So it doesn't feel ideal, but I think I just have to bet the flop and then go all in on most clean turns. Just because my hand is strong. and it's vulnerable, and if they have a 9, I'm pretty obligated to go broke. Guess they've got a good draw. But if there's significant signs of strength, then I can probably get away from my hand. I decided to bet 5,100. Get loads of indications of strength from the guy undergun +1 who then calls, so I'm pretty worried, but I don't see how I can't jam a turn even with the signs. I get indicators of weakness from the button who calls, so I'm thinking he's probably got some sort of flush draw, maybe like a pocket pair, maybe a 5 or something, and the button big blind tank folds. Turns the 6, so pocket 6s get there, not ideal. 7-8 suited gets there, but doesn't really exist. And obviously flush draws, sometimes they turn into combo draws. If they have a 9, they have a 9, a block jack 9 suited, but there's probably more 9-8 suited. There's probably more 9-8 suited and 10-9 suited from +1's range than there should be, and maybe some other stuff, but I think I just have to jam there 19,000 into 30,600. I think I don't want to check fold this hand, as much as it doesn't feel great. Like maybe they'll call 10s, maybe they'll call the flush draw, maybe they both fold, and that's the dream. +1 ends up having ace-9 and we bust, so gonna have a day off now. I'm gonna have a day off tomorrow because Gloria is here, so gonna take it a bit more easy, just play the 2K in the next few days, and then probably be back properly as of next Monday. It's Monday today. Yeah, I'm gonna have most of this week off to reset, take it easy, enjoy things, have some nice meals, and then be back for the last 3 weeks of the series, zoned in for the mystery bounty, the main, there's some free Ks, there's so many good events. I'll be back to update tomorrow for the end of week 3, but feeling pretty good.
But wait! There's more!
So you know we want more houses.
So that's another week finished. Week 3 is now complete. Overall stats for this week. I played 8 tournaments with $11,260 in buy-ins. I cashed for $4,673, which is from the day 2 I made of the Wynn bounty last week, but it was played this week, which means my net profit this week was minus $6,585. Not the best week, not the worst week. I still feel like things are going better than they were overall at this point last year. I feel like I am still running better overall. There's a few crucial all-ins that didn't go my way, and that's really the difference between a deep run or making the money in the millionaire maker, making the money in the monster stack, making the money in the Venetian. Like, I feel like I'm getting the semi-D runs, I'm playing good. Next week's gonna have loads of great tournaments. There's still 3 more full weeks to play. The week after that's gonna be the $1 million bounty in the main event, or at least the first part of the main event. Hopefully the main event spreads into the last week, because it means I've ran at least a little bit deeper than usual. I was thinking a little bit about why I actually play this game, because obviously I think most people that are successful in poker, or at least have a positive win rate in poker, could have put their attention to other things and made successes of themselves, whether it's in business, whether it's in their profession, or whatever it is. So many people still choose poker, especially for me, tournament poker. I know cash game is lower variance and cash game is a more stable lifestyle, but still I choose tournaments. Why? Why do I choose the tournaments? And the only thing I can come up with, although obviously there is an element of ego, because when you do well, like, you get celebrated, like this guy won the tournament, it's like this person's day, and you get a lot of attention, so I'm sure my ego enjoys that, at least in some aspects of it. But I think ultimately it's the subjective experience, because when you're running deep in a tournament, when you are like chip leader and you made the last day, or when you're approaching the bowl and you made the money, when you win a big pot and you're already in the money, when you made the final table, it's like a drug. Tournament poker is like a drug. I'm at least somewhat addicted to it. It's a nice addiction to have, because to be honest, it gives me a lot of purpose. When I have a day of poker, when I come home and think, what could I have done better? I'm going to study that spot, or this is what I did well today. These were the interesting hands, and getting to think about them again, thinking about the hands on a deep level. I think my issue is sometimes I go a bit too deep and then I level myself. It's just a fun process to get better at this game, and it's a fun process to do well at this game. It's very maturing when you have to go through the process of losing on repeat and dealing with the injustice in the moment of the game, because obviously at the end of the day it is just a game. Injustice within a card game is not real injustice. I mean, it might feel like it is in the moment when you get really bad beat and you were so close. Ultimately it helps you realize that in the end of the day it's not that important. You shouldn't really take it too seriously, and I think that's a good lesson for life. It doesn't really matter how things go, it's like how you deal with yourself afterwards. There's always a lot to learn with this game and a lot of reasons to grow. The process of losing is still reason to grow. I think it's helped me become a better person. I'm excited to play some more poker. I'm excited to hopefully get a deep run now. I know it doesn't make sense, but I do feel like I'm due ultimately at least one deep run. Like, even if it's a 9th place on the final table, I want to get the feeling of I've made a World Series of Poker final table. I've made a final table at the Wynn, whatever it is. I want to get that feeling. I'm going to keep turning up. Obviously I'm taking a few more days off this week, but then I'll be back to the grind, playing every day. I've still got at least 55 to 60 game buy-ins to do. I'm going to keep trying to just feel good along the way, get better as I go. Ultimately it's down to the poker gods. Trust in the poker gods. The poker gods have got my back. Thanks for watching another week, and stay tuned for week 4. Oh, I think I'll just get a nice light meal.